Hi, welcome back for more horror dose. Let's dive in. The radio was immaculate. A pristine 1970s tabletop model, walnut casing polished to a mirror-like sheen, its dial glowing a soft amber, untouched by time. I had restored dozens like it before. Replace the capacitors. Clean the contacts. Tune the frequency. Nothing special. Until I turned it on. At first, there was only static, that familiar, comforting hiss. The sound of nothing. Then, a pattern. Not music, not voices, something rhythmic. Intentional. Like breathing, but mechanical. I recorded it, assuming it was interference from a nearby signal. But when I slowed it down, filtered it, cleaned it, I felt my stomach drop. Because buried inside the static was a voice. And it had been broadcasting for 50 years. The broadcast dated back to October 1974. Back then, a journalist named Elliot Graves vanished without a trace. He was investigating a maritime shipping company operating off the coast, nothing illegal on paper, nothing suspicious enough to chase. His final radio transmission was dismissed as atmospheric noise. Case closed, file archived. Name forgotten. But what if it wasn't noise? What if no one had listened closely enough? Using modern AI audio restoration tools, I began peeling back the layers, white noise stripped away, frequency bands isolated, distortion stabilized. And that's when I heard it clearly.
If anyone hears this, they know I found it.
Its structure was too precise. Too symmetrical. This wasn't static. It was encryption. The signal used a shortwave frequency assigned exclusively to a now-defunct maritime shipping company, one that ceased operations just months after Graves disappeared. Every burst of noise carried data, every pulse was intentional. As I decoded it, the whisper returned, louder this time. Faster. Desperate.
They're moving the cargo tonight. I shouldn't be here.
Then silence. And then, coordinates. Hidden using a crude but brilliant form of vintage steganography, masking information inside frequency modulation patterns no one in the 1970s would think to analyze. No one, except him. The coordinates led to a remote coastal warehouse. Never searched. Never listed in official records. Written off as abandoned. But the triangulation didn't lie. Graves had uncovered something big, illegal cargo shipments disguised as routine maritime operations. Weapons. Human trafficking. Records that vanished as quickly as he did. The transmission's timestamp placed him there 3 days after authorities claimed the investigation ended. The official timeline was wrong. Deliberately wrong. And buried in the final seconds of the broadcast, almost erased by static, was a name. Barely audible. Spoken like a confession. I brought the restored audio to retired detectives who worked the case. They went silent. One of them removed his glasses. Another stood up and walked out of the room. Because the voice was unmistakable now. Clear. Terrified. Real. The shipping manifests from that warehouse, recently declassified, matched the decrypted coordinates perfectly. And the name? It belonged to a man who was never officially a suspect. Until now. In the final restoration pass, the last second of audio emerged fully. No distortion. No noise. Just truth.
Tell them it was.
The name followed. Clear as day. The static fell silent for the first time in 50 years. Today, authorities call it a breakthrough. I call it something else. Because every time I turn that radio back on, I swear I still hear breathing beneath the noise. Waiting.